anybody that has entered there, they just want a thief, thief.
Also, yeah, so that specific word is just for people who have been accused of stealing.
I think so.
Okay,
Yes.
so when you got in, they just started calling you baby thief, and then they started singing.
Yes.
So at this point, they are singing, like sort of they are welcoming you, but you're crying.
Yes, they are welcoming you. They are not happy that you joined them, but they are saying to welcome you.
So when you're
Yes.
crying, what is happening? Are they comforting you, or you're just crying on your own?
Yes, I cried, but they told me, don't cry, just be strong. What have you stolen? I told them I worked in a certain M-Pesa. I was on 150. They told me, only 150,000. How much do you have the cash bill or bond? How have you been charged? I told them 100,000. 100,000. Thank God, I have $1 million. And I don't know even where I'll get that million. Yes. So my life, I'll just stay here forever. Thank God for that 100 shillings. Yes.
So how many women were in that ward? Were they too many, or you could count?
I could count, but we were many. Because in a bed, we used to share two.
So one bed, two people.
Yes.
So now you are into the ward, and you've been welcomed by these women. Of course, you have cried, and so you're there. So what was that experience like? Like your first day in remand. How was that experience?
Okay.
What was going on? Like, what is the schedule? But also, throughout this conversation, I keep on asking you like what was going through your mind, because that part is also important, because there's so many things that could be happening externally, but deep down in your mind, what was also going on. But first, just take us through how was that schedule, how was it looking like, all that, your first day.
Okay, my first day, I was shocked, and I cried the whole day. I cried even by the time they brought lunch, supper. I didn't eat because the food was very, very tasteless. Yes, it was very tasteless. So I didn't take any meal on that day. I cried the whole night, but they continued to encourage me.
Yeah, so like, what was the food? What was like in the menu the day you got in?
Okay, the first day they brought ugali maragwe, ugali beans, yaiva vizuri. Yes, ugali pia inakaa majimaji.
Yes. So that was the first meal.
Yeah,
Then now the first night.
The first night I didn't even sleep.
Yeah.
Yes, I prayed the whole night.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so when you're praying, are you praying internally or praying loudly?
I prayed internally.
Internally.
Yes.
So this is the second time that you mentioned prayer.
Yes.
At the cell, you mentioned that you prayed and you told God not to let you get to the court because He knows your heart.
Yes.
And then your prayer, of course, was not answered the way you wanted it to be answered.
Yes.
But still, you're in this word and you're still praying.
Yes.
Did you ever feel in that moment for a minute that God failed you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I felt like, is there a God really? Yes.
But what still made you to continue praying?
I continued to pray because I didn't. It's only God who can take me out of that place.
Yeah.
Yes. So I continued praying. It's only God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even at that moment, you knew it was only God who could take you out.
Yes.
Because at this point, you're mentioning you don't have the 100,000.
Yes.
And now you are behind bars, and for something that you know very little about.
Yes.
So the other aspect that I wanted to be able to probe is, how is life in prison for a woman?
Very pathetic.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very pathetic, especially when you are in your menses. If you don't have enough pads, though they gave us some, but if you're done with them, you just use your blanket, the one you're using during the night. that one ndio unakata kidogo, you use it. Yes. And then when you get there, you are just given one uniform, a uniform. So if you want to wash your uniform, it will force you to tie the blanket.
Also, you only have one clothes.
Yes.
So when you're washing your clothes, you tie your blanket.
Yes.
And you are naked.
Yes.
And then you wait for it to dry.
You wait for it to dry, but in prison they are doing this thing known as counting after every 2 hours. Sasa kwa Kiswahili tunaita kukaba. After every 2 hours unaenda pale unakaba. And you have to squat. You kukaba ni squat, then you are being counted. You have to squat in a uniform. So whether it is dried up or it is wet, you have to wear it. Yes.
So after 2 hours, you have to wear your uniform and go get counted.
Yes.
And so then you come back.
Yes.
And so what is the schedule like from when you wake up until when you're going to bed? So is there a time of waking up, and how is that scheduled throughout the day?
Okay, there's time that they will wake you up if they want to count you. They come at the door, then knock, 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 get out, get out, get out. You want to be counted. Then you rush there in the scene. Then you squat. They count you. After that, you get inside again. In remand, you don't walk out. You just stay inside. They lock the door. Yes, you just stay inside. You'll only get out if you're going to pick your food. Then if you're going to be counted. Yes.
So the only time you get out is when you go and pick your food or get counted?
Yes.
The rest of the time you're just sleeping, or you're just seated, or what happens?
You are just, whether you are sleeping or doing anything, unakuwa tu hapo ndani.
Yeah.
Yes. So you can sleep, you can pray, you can sing. Yes. But they make sure that you are just inside.
Yeah.
Yes.
So even at night there is this 2-hour counting period.
But at 7 p.m.
At 7 p.m.
only.
Okay.
Yes.
So your experience, you are mentioning about your experience throughout the 2 months. You say there is no pad. When you don't have pads, you have to use a blanket. When you wash your clothes, you have to tie a blanket.
Yes.
What else? What are some of the other things that go on?
Okay. When they don't have a toothbrush, toothpaste, panty, yeah. Because the day you are arrested, maybe you wear only one. You wore one.
Yeah.
So that one, you use only that one for your entire life. So if you don't have somebody to bring you another one, you just use that one. And you know, if you use one and you are in your period, sometimes you don't have pads. So the life becomes very miserable. Yes.
So then how long were you in prison?
For 2 months, when there's a certain, my certain uncle who agreed to pay the bond.
Yeah.
So he processed the bond. So I stayed there for 2 months.
Okay.
When he was processing the bond.
Okay.
Yes.
So then, these 2 months,
Yes.
what are some of the things that stood out for you throughout those 2 months behind bars? What did you observe? Even outside of your particular ward, because there were other wards, did you get to interact with them? Did you hear anything? Like, what was the general experience throughout those 2 months?
Okay, I interacted with in prison we have ordinary cases and capital cases. So for our ward, they were ordinary cases. But the other wards, like the capital cases, those are the cases such as manslaughter, robbery with violence, murder, such things. Those women who were at the capital ward, they even they beat each other. Yes. Napigana. But they have a different uniform. The color of the uniform
is different.
It's different.
Yeah.
For the ordinary cases, it's this strict one. But the capital cases, it's like the gray one but plain. Yes.
So throughout your 2 months period, what was your, I know, like, it's not the probably the right question to ask,
Yes.
but I just would want to know, was there a moment for you that stood out, like your sort of like, I know it's already a difficult time, but within the difficult time, was there a moment that stood out for you that on the positively, because again, there's always the positive points of even when you're going through difficult times. I was having a discussion with someone, we did a prison visit, and they were saying her highlight was when we went, because we sang with them, danced with them, and gave them sanitary towels. For her, that was her highlight during that entire time. Was there a specific highlight, or your entire life behind bars was pretty miserable?
Okay, I can remember the day some church members came.
Yeah,
They brought us pads,
yeah,
toothpaste, tissue, such things. They even prayed for us and encouraged us.
yeah.
Yes.
So those moments that really are make a lot of impact, but
Yeah.
when you're behind bars.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. At least you feel there are some people outside there who cares.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so that was one of your highlights. What was your lowest moment?
Okay. My lowest moment, the time I washed my uniform, I tied that blanket. I really cried in that day. Yes, I really cried. Because now, imagine you tie that blanket, you're walking with it. It's pathetic.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was your lowest moment.
Yes.
And I know there were a couple of other moments that were low for you. So when you're told now the bond has been processed,
Yes.
and you are now going to get out, first, what was your reaction?
The time they told me the bond has been processed.
Yes.
I thanked God.
Yes.
I remember on that day I just knelt down and prayed and said, I told God, thank you, Father,
Yeah.
for you have answered my prayers.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so what was that day like, the day you left?
I was very happy, but confused.
Yeah.
I felt like, hey, there's a miracle. God can do a miracle to somebody.
Yeah.
Yes, this is a miracle. I've seen it. I've
Yeah.
never seen a miracle, but
Yeah.
today I've seen a miracle.
Yes.
There's a miracle, but somehow you're confused.
Yes.
Yes.
So you actually never thought you would get out?
Yes. Because if I remember back at home, we don't have anything. You can't see there's something will come out. Yes, we had nothing at all, but unfortunately, a miracle happened.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so this particular day, did you know when going to bed that the next day you'll be leaving, or it was just like a surprise? You woke up in the morning and you're told you're leaving?
It was a surprise.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so how like, what was your first reaction, like when you were told? First, who broke the news to you?
My mom.
Or your mom came?
Yes.
Yeah.
She came there, but she can't even see you. There are no transparent glasses like this.
Yeah.
I can say they're translucent.
Yeah.
She can't see you, so she's struggling.
Yeah.
Olivia, where are you? You are going out today.
Yeah.
I was very happy. I even went back to the ward
Yeah.
and reported the news to my fellow colleagues.
Yeah.
And then they were very happy. They jumped. If something such thing has happened,
Yeah.
wanaona Mungu anafanya miujiza.
Yeah.
Sasa
Even
wengine
them
pia
they can
watatoka.
be- Yeah.
They even sang, jumped. They were
Yeah.
very happy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And one of the things that stood out to me, as you say this entire story, is the spirit of women.
Yes.
I remember like when you came in for the first time, they welcomed you, they were singing, they were dancing, and they encouraged you. And now when you're leaving, they were also overjoyed and singing with you and dancing with you. And I don't know how that made you feel, even at that moment, seeing these women just be very happy for you.
Okay, women are very strong. They are very, very strong and very prayerful.
Yeah.
I can see them in the wards. they pray all the night, throughout the night.
Yeah.
Really, they do pray and cry to God. They say,
Yeah.
God, you know, we have our families.
Yeah.
We have our families, and now we are here. God, you will take care of these families, because most houses, it's the women who take care.
Yeah.
Yes. They prayed all the night. Every day they prayed.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so their strength and the fact that they still believed and were hopeful stood out to you.
Yes.
The other aspect about it is these women, did you ever get to interact with them and get to hear some of their stories? I don't know which particular story stood out for you.
Okay, I met one, and she shared a story why she was arrested. But it was can I say, alipigana na mtu.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Alipigana na mtu, but the other person took the case to the police.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like it was just there was like the assault was two-way, but now she was taken in.
Yes.
And so did you meet a couple of cases where, just like yours, that you actually did nothing wrong, but you're behind bars? Are those cases a lot, or most of the cases are actually people who are owning up to have done it, maybe because of one reason or the other?
Such cases like one were very many.
Yeah.
Very many.
Yeah.
Like the one for M-Pesa.
Yeah.
Even my colleague, my fellow colleague whom I shared the bed with,
Yeah.
had the same case.
Yeah.
She was conned in that way.
Yeah.
She was conned 160,000.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you're leaving. So these women are remaining behind. Is there anyone that you've ever met afterwards, or all of them you've never had a chance to meet them again?
My fellow colleague, whom we shared the bed with, even at now, I have her contacts.
Yeah.
She used to call me. Sometimes I call her.
Yeah.
Yeah. She even came. She came out of the prison with a bond, but her case was withdrawn also.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's also a success story for her.
Yes.
And those lasting relationships that you made while there. So you leave the cell.
Yes.
What was your first reaction when you got out?
I was very happy.
Yeah.
Tears of joy, I can say like that.
Yeah.
Tears of joy.
Yeah.
I was crying, but I was very happy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then what happened after that?
I went back where I stayed.
Yeah.
Then my mom was also very happy.
Yeah.
We thanked God. We rejoiced.
Yeah.
Yes. So I came out, but I still had a case.
Yes.
Yes. So I was going to court. I don't know if I can put it.
Yeah.
But na kesi kama niko nje.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you're just out on bond. So you proceeded with the case.
Yes.
So after a while, what happened? Did the woman finally withdraw the case, or was the case settled?
Okay, I went for two mentioning first, before hearing, my first hearing.
Yeah.
I went to court. They confirmed if you are still around. That is the mentioning.
Yeah.
Then on my first hearing, my complainant came and she told me that, you know, Olivia, I want to withdraw your case. Yes, I was shocked. Yes, I want to withdraw your case. So I thought maybe she wanted to know whether if I have a lawyer, to find a way how she can challenge me.
Yeah.
But I told her, if you want to withdraw the case, I'll thank you for that. Yes, I thought it was a joke, but she was very serious. So by the time we were called by the judges, she lifted up her hand and told the judge, I want to withdraw that case. Then she was asked why she wanted to withdraw the case. She said that Olive is still young, she's still a young girl, she's just like my child, and I can't see a way of continuing with the case. Then she was told that after you withdraw the case, you will not take the case to any court again.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she agreed to withdraw.
She agreed to withdraw.
Okay, so there's just so many layers, and probably we will continuously do a follow-up as we get into our prisons and be able to meet other ladies there. But I don't know whether you have any message for this particular M-Pesa lady who your boss who took you who like complained against, placed a complaint against you. Is there any specific word that you have for her? Have you forgiven her? Did you ever hold her in your heart, or did you forgive her in the first instance? And have you ever talked ever since?
Okay, I remember the day she withdrew the case. The day she withdrew the case is the day I forgave her.
Yeah.
Yes, but by the time I was in the remand, I felt a very, very big pain in my heart towards her. Yes, because I was there, but I'm innocent. And I said, if I've worked for this woman for such periods, and I've never stolen even a cash, because I was handling a cash. She operated a very big float. I had to operate with like $1 million. Yes. I operated $1 million cash. So if I did I banked even for her 500,000 shillings cash. How can I steal that float? So I felt if she can't see this, then she's taking it to court. I held a very big grudge towards her. But the day she withdrew the case, I forgave her. Yes. Today.
Have you ever spoken to her since?
No.
No, you haven't.
Yes.
What did the experience? I know every experience in life teaches you something.
Yes.
What did this particular experience teach you? Did it when you left the remand and now your life after that? Is there any difference? Like, is there something about that experience that has impacted your life to date?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. First, I knew there is a God, a real God, for the miracle God did for me. Secondly, I learned that you should be cautious in life, especially when you are handling some things like cash, you are operating some things. You have to be very cautious. Yes. But thirdly, I learned that in prison, most people who are there, they are very innocent. They are very innocent. Yes.
Yeah, and thank you very much, Olivia, for sharing your experience. I think it raises a lot of issues around just generally our justice system and how it works. The way we treat people and the way we handle people, and what life is, even for someone who is not able to be able to afford certain things. Because if Olivia would have had the bond, then that entire experience would have been wiped out. Actually, she would have paid it off and went. But the fact that we have a society that is so there's so much inequalities, and something that someone hasn't factually really even done can land your life in jail. And I'm just imagining if the uncle wasn't able to raise that bond, would Olivia be seated here? Would she still be behind bars? And it just speaks to the inequalities that we face as a society. It speaks to the justice system that is a lot, to a great extent, very skewed, and just the general welfare of women and girls in ourselves. Are their rights still guaranteed when they're behind bars? She mentioned the issue of sanitary towels and the fact that women behind bars don't get to access sanitary towels. The food, the way they sleep, and that entire scenario. And when you talk about someone is innocent until proven guilty, do we actually ever even really think that that's a reality, or it's something that is a buzzword? I know there are so many lessons that we draw from Olivia's case, and I hope that it teaches us to do better, to be better. M-Pesa business and owners and everyone within that business, a little empathy, and just to ensure that we don't damage people just because we can. for Safaricom and Pesa and that entire system and the way it works. I think it's a great injustice that we keep on seeing girls and boys in the society suffer because of these cases. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much, Olivia. I don't know whether you have a parting shot before we sign off.
Okay, thank you too. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So thank you all for watching. I hope you learned some lessons. In case you want to reach out to Olivia, just comment down. We'll be able to put you through to her. But thank you so much for tuning in for this episode, and I hope you've learned something. Until next time, bye.